Hi guys, this is Bill from Bill's Green Diary and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, my apologies in advance. I honestly do not know how messy this video is going to be because there was just a lot of interruptions and things that I wanted to say that was not planned. But if you had watched the previous video, you may already know that I have decided to let go of most of my moss poles because I physically cannot care for them anymore. They just demand too much from me. So in this video, I will show you guys my experience of growing plants on moss pole. It's not really my experience, but it's just the journey that I've gone through. So let's take a trip down memory lane and have a look at how my moss pole journey started and how things have changed over the years. I have prepared in advance an album which has, anything moss pole related over the past few years, which I could find in my photo album. I might have skipped a few photos or videos in between, but I think overall, the album has pretty much the entire idea of my moss pole experience. Alright, I'm going to put the video and photo somewhere here, I think. So let's watch them together. I'm actually very excited for this because a lot of the things I did were really questionable, and at the same time I am very proud of who I have become as a grower. So please do not judge because there's enough judgment from myself already, so you don't need to do that. Alright, so this one was in April 2022. I am doing some pest control and I can see that I haven't started my moss poles yet. However, I do have those poles that they sell in Bunnings. They're not made of moss but from cocoa coir. Alright, this is May 2022 when I really got into variegated rare plants, and this is my album monstera, a Florida beauty and a Thai constellation. And the moss poles were actually my first attempt at making, and you can see that. So what I used was I put a few bamboo sticks inside and then I wrapped moss around the bamboo sticks, and then overall I used these plastic that contained all of the moss inside. Alright, we are now in July 2022 and this here was pretty much the moss poles that I was using for a very long time. So these poles were made from the metal mesh that I got from Bunnings. Everything was DIY. The poles could stand up by themselves pretty, steadily. So yeah, I think it works pretty well, but it was just funny how all the plants were just really, really small. On literally the very bottom of the pole, and you would have all the space on top of the pole with nothing attached to it. It was just funny to look at. And I think this is my Philodendron Majestic. At the back is my Philodendron Splendid. I used to have them. Well, clearly not anymore. Oh my god, the terracotta pot. Okay, I'm sure the photo will pop up. I want to delete that memory out of my mind, but we will get to that. But yeah, I was really into big philodendron. So, at that time, I thought I was onto something. They did eventually, however, get really big. Clearly, I don't have them with me anymore, but I did manage to get them to quite the size that I wanted them to be. They were my Syngonium albo fantasy. And again, the plants were really small, literally on the bottom of the pole, but the Syngonium was starting to attach itself to the pole really, really quickly, and eventually it just took off. That's my Philodendron Splendid, and you can see that it's slowly starting to attach itself to the pole, and that morning sun or afternoon sun was just giving. Again, we're still in July 2022 and all of the plants are literally on the bottom of the pole. That's my Philodendron Gigas and that's my Splendid. I think that's my Majestic. We all started somewhere, and this is, if you zoom in that Philodendron Peru, it was just so funny to look at because you have this whole space that has nothing on it, and then at the bottom there's this tiny plant. And this is my Philodendron White Princess, again still on the very bottom of the pole, looking really cute though. Oh, and this is my Pink Princess. This one, the variegation was very poor, so there was literally no variegation, so I ended up selling the whole thing. Oh, this is the part that I was talking about earlier. Oh my god, I don't know what got into me that I thought that was okay for me to do, so I got these black stands, I guess, from Kmart, and then I put my terracotta pot on top, and magically they fit right in, Well, obviously I don't have anything for drainage, so I put a saucer on the floor, so you can imagine when the water drips, the water splashes everywhere, and I think it lasted for 2 days. That I was like, you know what, that's it. That was so dumb. I don't know why I did that, and then I had to return all of them. I think I sold them. Actually, I didn't return them, but yeah, I don't know why that happened. I thought I was onto something, but clearly not. You know, the science was not clicking at the time. And yeah, this is August 2022, and this was when I got the philodendron white knight. So again, I think I potted into the pot, and then I got the moss pole right away. It quickly, I think, attached itself to the pot, but eventually, as you can see, I changed it to the plastic clear one. So that didn't last too long. Yeah, at one time I had around 30 moss poles in my apartment, and it was a lot. You know, like making them was painful because my fingers were in pain the whole time, right? So it was not, I don't know what got me into doing so many moss poles, because now I don't think I can physically even do 2. And that is my silver sword that I got from Bunnings. Again, I got it as a very, you know, mature size, so it quickly attached itself to the pole there. Look at this gigas. Oh my god, it's tiny. It's literally on the bottom of the pole. There's literally no point in watering the moss pole because nothing is attaching to anything. We're now in September of 2022. Oh, my Syngonian fantasy has grown quite a bit. Like, they have attached themselves to the pole. You can see the tiny root there trying to find the moss pole. Oh, look at this Jose Bono. So good. The variegation was top notch. However, I couldn't provide it with enough light, so the variegation quickly became green instead of cream. But overall, it was a very easygoing plant. Look at all of them enjoying the sun. This is again in October, so I think it was around spring in Australia. Look at that Jose Bono enjoying the sun. So good. But yeah, the variegation was really great. I ended up, well, obviously, letting it go, but I would love to have it again one day when I have a bigger space. These. I still use them nowadays. You see that green tip at the bottom? I got them from eBay. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like water dripper or something. And then I got a water bottle. I cut it in half, and then they fit right in, and I just put it on top, pour the water in, and then it just let it drip. And I still use it on my plastic ones to this day. So it's pretty cool. It doesn't look the best though, but it does the job. What's this one? Monstera El Salvador. Yeah. Oh, I missed that plant too. Yeah, I also let that one go. Wow, my majestic started to do something there. Eventually, it did get quite big, and oh, why do you guys see that they are all standing on a black sort of like desk, which is what these guys are standing on right now too. I finally got rid of my stupid Kmart stands and replaced them with this black desk so that all the plants can stand on it, which works out to be much better. Pause. Can we please take a moment to appreciate the sun? My place is actually northeast facing. I get morning light, but now the sun is over there, but it's reflecting from the opposite apartment's window. And this is what the light I have now too. Okay, let's get back to this. Alright, we are now in November, and this is again my philodendron white knight. You can see that it's starting to grow. I can see that the node there is like leaning on the pole, so I think it's working. Is that my glorious? 19th of November. Yeah, I think that's my glorious because I had 2. One ended up looking better than the other. So, oh, I had so many reels with this sound, you know, where it says, oh, is that a new leaf? Or you're just excited to see me, you know, like it's just so funny that I had so many reels with them. This is now November, late November 2022, and you can see that my Monstera Peru has attached itself to the pole, and I can hold the whole pole up without the pot dropping, so there were enough roots in there as well. Here my white knight has also attached itself to the pole. That's a philodendron painted lady. I sold it away because it sparks no joy at all. It grew really weird, you know, the leaves got stuck all the time. Look at this majestic. Oh my god, yeah, like the leaves got really big, and especially the petioles are just way too long, so I had to, you know, let it go because I literally could not have the physical space to contain it. We are on to 2023, and this is my variegated domesticum. I got it and then quickly put it on a pole, and then I think it was working pretty well. My Monstera. This is a time where I started to use my plastic ones. This is late January 2023, and my Monstera alba was really starting to attach itself to this plastic pole. Oh, my strawberry shake. I also got this on the plastic pole as well. I just sold it away, I feel like a couple of months ago. Do you remember how everything was literally on the bottom of the pole? Now they're all tall, like they're filling the poles up very nicely. Like, I mean, it's only a couple of leaves. Like, if you look at my Majestic, it only has 4 leaves. But yeah, that's a good family photo. Yeah, I got a lot of moss poles, and each one of them has that little dripper on top. Oh, February, look at this Jose in the sun. But yeah, you can see that it's really attached itself to the pole now. And this was a very big plant, so it's always leaning because it was very top heavy. But yeah, the variegation was on point. You can see that I could not provide it with enough light, so a lot of the variegation just became really minty and green. But yeah, it was just way too big for my place, so I tried to chop it in half, thinking that, you know, I can work out with the top half, but eventually I had to sell both of them. Oh, look at 2023 me and this Majestic. We are now on to March 2023, and that's my strawberry shake. This is my pink princess again. Super cute. The variegation is just adorable. Oh my lord, look at me. This is my Monstera alba. It's reaching the top of the plastic pole, so it wouldn't take long until I extended the pole, I think. Right, this is the only plant that I extended on a moss pole, you know, using the mesh wires, and that is my poo princess, my pink princess that rarely give pink, you know, but I ended up chopping it in half and then selling both of them because it was not, you know, a good idea to keep such a big plant where I live and then not having the amount of variegation that I wanted. Oh, this is my variegated Adansonii aurea. Yeah, I got this one as a big tip cutting, and then it quickly attach itself to the pole. Like, that one was such an easygoing plant. That is my philodendron white wizard. I had a phase I collected all of the princess, wizard, knight, you know, all of them, but I think I let this one go eventually. We are now on to April of 2023, and this is my philodendron bipennifolium variegated, the horsehead, the golden violin, I think. This plant was such a big wish list plant that I had. I didn't know that it could be so leggy. Like, the petioles were just way too long, so it couldn't fit in my space. Oh, my baby El Choco Red, April 2023. Oh, look how adorable that is. The leaf was really red though. The whole plant is so tiny. It's adorable. That is my Monstera Bossigiana aurea. The variegation wasn't great, you know, when we first started, but eventually now it looks a lot better, and that's my Adansonii next to it, which was also a very easygoing plant until it also gave me all white leaves. I think that's my Sordiroy. Very clumpy, it's very cute. Oh, my Domesticum is growing so well here. The color is just stunning. Again, I had to sell it away because it got too much variegation going on and I couldn't be bothered chopping it. Right, this is my white princess. Oh, that is my wizard. Look how nice the variegation is. And that's the moss pole. I think it's pretty happy with the pole there. Oh lord, that was my Tetrasperma variegated. It's stunning though, like, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely beautiful until it got too much variegation. Same problem. We are in May 2023, and again, that is my Tetrasperma, that is my Adansonii variegated, my White Knight, that is my Aurea Deliciosa, which was not on a moss pole, my Glorious. Everything was just happy. Another family photo, but this time looking a little bit different because I think I did sell some plenty already. Oh my lord, I still have this monstrosity of, you know, moss poles going on. I really hated those poles because when it's all dried up, all the dry moss keeps on like falling apart, like it's everywhere on the floor, so I had to vacuum every single day. It was so annoying. But yeah, I think it was soon after that I transferred everything into the plastic pole. This is still May 2023, and this Jose Bono is just massive and in charge. Alright, this is how I changed from the mesh to the plastic moss pole. I just attached the plastic moss pole on top of the mesh pole, and I just hope, you know, the plant as it grows up, it will attach itself there. So I think it works pretty well, except for this gigas. When the pole literally snapped that way and broke the tip of the gigas, I was so upset. So I ended up selling the whole plant away. But it works for the majority of the plant. I think I did that for a lot of them when I converted from the mesh to the plastic pole. Look at my tetrasperma, so nice. Aw, look, my majestic, glorious, splendid, everything was gone. I ended up, selling all of them by this stage, I think. But my Jose Bono is still massive there. It wasn't long after this, I think, that I was, also sick of it. And I had to sell it away because it was just too big and I could not water it properly. So every time when I wanted to water the moss balls, I had to climb on the couch there, lean over, risking my life, and then just pour water on top of the dripper. Ah, look at me 2 years ago. Oh my God. This is the same Monstera elbow from earlier. That's what I meant by it used to bring me so much joy, because the variegation was just so beautiful. It was really marbled, so there was not any burning. But yeah, I just adored this plant with all of my heart. And this is my Adansonii aurea. I think I was trying to sell it or something. I think that's the base. Yeah, I think I chopped it and I removed the tip to pot it up, using the clear plastic pole, and then this is the base that I was trying to sell. We are now in July 2023, and this is the same Philodendron Pink Princess that we've seen. It was giving me the biggest attitude because the leaf was having some trouble unfurling for like 3 leaves in a row. That is my second Monstera elbow. My Tetrasperma was living life. My Domesticum was still on the old moss pole, but yeah, this is a very interesting area. We are now in August, which is winter in Australia, and my El Chocoret has come a long way. Look at that. That leaf has upsized so much, and the newest leaf looks amazing there. Look at this. The variegation. It used to look so good. Alright, this Tetrasperma was literally the most gorgeous thing that I had at the time, but then quickly everything started to melt away because it got too much variegation. Now in September, I tried to give the Majestic a second chance, so I potted up the tip of the previous Majestic using the big pole, but you can see that the internodal space is massive, so this huge pole could only fit 1, 2, 3 nodes. So I was like, you have to go. So yeah, this is the part where I chopped up my White Knight and I put the top into the plastic pole there. So I did the same thing I did with the gigas, where I put the clear pole on top of the mesh pole, and then eventually as the plant climbed up, it started to attach itself to the plastic pole, so I removed it and I potted it up in its own individual part. This was around the time where I really got into anthuriums, so a lot of the poles started to leave my collection. Look at this elbow. Again, the variegation, I miss it so much. I really adored that plant with every bit of my heart. We are now on to October of 2023. 2023 was mostly the year that, I was really into moss poles. You wouldn't see that much, in 2024 because anthuriums quickly took over. And this was a very tall, variegated Adansonii there, but it quickly also got really white. So I think I chopped this one into 3 parts, and then I ended up selling all of them. Here is my Bipennifolium. This is November now. Look at this Bipennifolium. I think I ended up chopping it in individual nodes and then I sold it. And look at the tip, how sad it looks. Oh my God. Again, my elbow. Oh Lord, look how cute we were. It's starting to, get to the same height as me. I know, I'm tiny, but it's still a very big milestone, that we got to this point from a single leaf cutting. So we've been through a lot. We are now in January 2024. Again, another shot of this elbow being very tall. I could watch this forever and remember what we had, but in February 2024, we have another one where I recorded during daytime. Honestly, the variegation was just amazing. That's my beautiful Domesticum at the time. Again, that leaf was fully variegated, so it quickly got burnt and melted away. There was me making a reel on Instagram, I was chopping them, I think. Oh no, I was just showing off my really tall monsteras. You can see that even though the monstera albo had a lot of variegation, it was still, as tall as the aurea, even though the aurea has a lot of green. Yeah, but again, the albo had enough green at the time so that it could maintain itself, but now it cannot. And this is my philodendron Florida Beauty. Oh, I did make a reel of all of my moss poles. Oh, I saw a ring of fire. That's my variegated melanochrysum. Look at that pink princess. I'm sure that's the same pink princess right now. And now in April 2024, you can see that I was doing some pest control again. You can see the albo and the aurea at the back there already taller than me, but there were a lot of other poles around. But you can see that a lot of the old poles were gone, like my Majestic and Glorious, my Jose Bono too, they were all gone. Okay, my camera just died and I'm using a portable charger now. So we gotta wrap this up quickly. I think I was up to April 2024, right? So this is the overview after I sprayed everything. You can see my very tall, Monstera bossygianas there, the aurea and the albo. But other than that, on the floor there, you can see my smaller moss poles. Look at me and my two bossygianas. Come on. I was so proud, to raise both of them from single leaf cuttings to that size. I don't know, I'm getting emotional, sorry guys. Made a little reel, wait for it. Ta-da! So yeah, they got really tall, so I had to chop up the tip. So I planted the tip down to 2 new pots, and then I extended that pole with, I think 3 more poles. So both of them are again very tall. That is my variegated melanochrysum. Didn't like me, always getting stuck while unfurling was a pain to grow, so I sold it away. Again, my Andersonii, too much variegation, couldn't handle it, melted away, all browned, so I had to say goodbye. This is May 2024, and this little area of moss poles is what we have at the moment, just a little bit less moss poles. You can see my El Choco red there, and then you see my little white knight, and then my Ansonii, and then that is my white wizard. But yeah, my Florida Beauty was also super beautiful, but at the same time, the petioles were just way too long. It was just reaching outwards, it was just invading my own space. So again, I had to say goodbye. You can see that the variegation here is still very good, even though it's starting to get a little bit more white than usual. Oh, I love this shot. This is June 2024, and again, this is winter in Australia, but I have the best lighting when it's winter, so all of my plants were just literally thriving. And look at all my Marantas down there. I don't have that anymore. That Florida Beauty was just neglected. It was in a corner, having nowhere else to grow because the petioles were just way too long. So yeah, it was just struggling. So at one point I was like, that's it, I'm saying goodbye. This is July of 2024, like in the middle of winter, but you can see the amount of light that I have here is just incredible. And look at that back shot. This is July 2024. Looking incredible. After this, I don't think there was a lot of moss poles anymore because I eventually got rid of a lot of them, such as this Florida Beauty in September 2024. She served her time, but she takes up way too much space. Oh, look at all of them next to my record player and my coffee. Ah, what a vibe. This is October 2024. It hasn't changed at all. The amount of moss poles that I had was pretty consistent since October 2024. And literally that's all the plants I had. But yeah, this is from a very gloomy day. But you can see that the moss poles are thriving pretty well. This is in December. Oh, I skipped the whole November. That's what they look like. Pretty much, they're pretty similar to what we have now. And that's it. This is the newest video that I just recorded today. You can see that they are all enjoying my morning light, and I don't know, it just feels magical to to see all of this. And I think I will miss them actually when I don't know, should I sell them? Like at the very beginning, I was very determined on letting a lot of them go. But after today, I don't know. Well, that's it guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I am just feeling a lot of emotions right now because, like these plants, I know they are just plants, but they have gone through this really long journey with me, and they have watched me grow. For me, at least, when something wasn't working, I try to make it work. But now I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm giving up at some point. A big part of me wanted to keep the plants and to grow them out, or trying to fix the problem. But again, another part of me was thinking that this is not good for how I'm feeling at the moment, considering I'm really busy with work and everything around me. But yeah, I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be, but I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. For now, stay safe, stay hydrated, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.